Hi everyone, I have a new craft for you today. I hit the recycle bin again in our house before it goes out. Swipe the egg carton. So if you have a cardboard egg carton at home, you can try this. It's really fun. What you want to do is cut these into sections until you get a bunch of them, the individual sections like this. We're going to turn these into flowers and make a wreath for spring. I don't know if you looked outside today, but I did. It was snowing, covered with snow. Wasn't very spring-like, so I'm going to make up for that. We're going to create our own spring here. The other thing that you can do for your base for your wreath is if you have a paper plate, that's perfect. I didn't have a paper plate. However, I had a box, so I cut the bottom of the box out and made a ring. You could also make it a square if you have that, but if you have a paper plate, that's perfect. Then it's already halfway cut for you. You just have to cut out the center. You're going to also need some glue. If you have hot glue, that would be great. A hot glue gun would work perfectly on this. I'm going to use plain old white glue. This will work too. It just requires a little more patience while you're letting everything dry. So once you have your glue, your cardboard, your egg cartons, you'll need a little bit of craft paint, tempera paint. You could probably even use watercolor if you have, especially if you have a white cardboard egg carton, but you need to make the colors pretty intense to get it to color that pretty well. I bet you could even use markers. If you have the patience, you could color them in with markers. Ideally, though, if you have some sort of craft paint, you're going to use that. So get started. Cut out all your egg cartons into individual sections. Once you have your section done, you're going to trim the sides. Mine is kind of pointy, so I'm going to cut it down in a circle to make it round like that. Then you're going to cut some little slits. See what I'm doing here? I'm cutting a slit like this. You're going to make about 5 of them, so you have 5 petals. And then you can open that up to make it start to look like a flower. From that point, you're going to trim these edges a touch to round the petals of the flower. And you can adjust the sizes of your flowers this way too. Some of them you can cut down so that they're much smaller. Some of them you can cut just barely the edges so that it's a little bit bigger. You'll have a lot of scraps when you're done cutting these. All sorts, like scraps like this, little scrap pieces like that. Take some of those scraps, and from those little pieces, then cut a couple of leaves out. So go for an almond shape, maybe. You can make it any shape you want. It's a leaf, it's nature, have fun with it. So make some leaves. You'll have your flowers and leaves done. They're going to look something like this. That's where you'll have some fun with your craft paint. The first thing I want you to do is paint the base. So you have your cardboard base, your paper plate base. Paint it out. I chose green. So I painted mine all green because probably some of the base will show after you glue it all on. And you want it to look pretty. You don't want it to look like cardboard underneath there. And for the flowers then, get rid of some of my scraps here. Make some room. You're going to make, I chose pastel colors. I have pink, purple, and blue. For my pink, do you remember how we make pink? We're going to make a tint. So a tint is any color mixed with white. I'm mixing red and white for my pink. Maybe. And I can get my white to come out here. Depending on your red, you might end up with a peach color, or you might end up with a pretty pink color. They're all beautiful, so don't worry about what color you come up with. Get some color on there, make it nice and pale and pretty. I'm thinking Easter colors, like Easter egg colors, something nice and springy. Then paint out your flowers. Take your time, and you know what? You're going to want to do the backs of these as well. Some of them, well, hopefully they will. They'll be kind of curved up softly, like a real flower will be cupped or curved. So you may see some of the back when it's down like that. So you want to get both sides painted, front and back. So go ahead and take a moment, do all of your flowers, front and back, and your leaves, all nice and green and pretty. When you have all of your flowers painted and dried a little bit, you can either take a black marker or some black paint. I didn't have either, but I have a navy blue paint, so I used that. And then I went ahead and I put little dots on the insides of my flowers to look like the center, little pollen pieces. You could even use yellow. You could paint yellow in the center. I think yellow would be really pretty. But I did some dots like that. Give it a try. It makes them look a little more flower-like. You could even, if you wanted to, put some veins on your leaves, make like the line through the middle and some little lines coming off of it, like the leaf. It would have veins running through it. Once you have all of your pieces together, painted, cut, trimmed, looking like a beautiful flower, you're gonna get out your glue and simply start assembling these. Puts a blob of glue down and sets your flower right in. As you're working, put some of your leaves on there too. It'll make it way easier to kind of tuck leaves around as you go instead of trying to squish them in later. I think it might make it a little easier for you. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this wreath and show you what it looks like when it's all done. All right, I've got all of my flowers arranged on here. I did not use hot glue. I used white glue. So I'm going to lift this carefully. It's not dry yet. I just finished it. But I'll give you an idea. Hopefully they're going to stick on there. I'll give you an idea what it looks like. And then you can hang this up. You can put magnets on the back of it. Put it on your refrigerator, I bet, because it's light enough. Or put it on your door, put it outside. Bring some spring cheer to everybody on this looking like winter day. But it'll come soon. I know it will. Have fun with this. Have a good time with it. Show me some pictures. If you do this, would you please take a picture of it and post it and let everybody else know what you're doing too? I would love to see it. Have a good one. I'll talk to you again soon.